Howdy, y'all, and happy Sunday. Hope everybody's having a great Sunday so far. Let's go and get right on into this day in weather history. About 20 years ago, we had what was catastrophic Hurricane Katrina, as it was a Cat 1, as it made landfall just south of Florida by Miami and Fort Lauderdale area. Caused about $2 billion worth of damage with 80-mile-an-hour winds. We can see it would soon later become a catastrophic Category 5 hurricane, as it made landfall just south of Louisiana, and it would soon make its trek up here to Indiana. I remember this back when I was in school. We got the winds from it, and those winds were pretty nuts. So it was definitely a big deal back then, and it's still a big deal now, as it made the record books. Well, that's this day in weather history, y'all. And we can see just about 20 years in the future, we have what is now Category 1 Hurricane Inhone. Now, in the last video, I said this was supposed to be Hector, but a lady on Facebook reached out, Amy Metz, weather woman. She gave me some clarification that if a tropical storm or hurricane forms 140 degrees west of Mexico, it gets a Central Pacific name. I didn't know that, so definitely thanks for the clarification, Amy Metz. Go follow her, y'all, if you haven't done so already, as we do have what is now Hurricane Hone making landfall just south of the big island of Hawaii. See, sustained winds of 85 mile an hour and max gusts of 105 mile an hour. It's expected to become a tropical storm as we head into tomorrow morning. And please hunker down if you're over there, as this is just going to cause some major problems for the next couple of days. And we also have Gilma, which was a Category 4 hurricane just a couple days ago, and is now a Category 3 with sustained winds of 120 mile an hour and max gusts of 150. It's expected to weaken down into a tropical depression as we head into the August 30th time frame, and it's going to be causing a lot of problems again for Hawaii. So again, Hawaii, please hunker down for Hone, and please prepare for Gilma, as it's going to be making landfall over there as soon as Friday. Other than Hone and Gilma, let's go take a look at the Atlantic Basin to see if any sort of tropical storm activity is going to be going on. As we can see, it's unusually quiet out there, which is actually not good news. You don't want to see the Atlantic quiet this time of year, because that means the tropics heat up, and the more the days go by that there isn't any sort of tropical storm activity, that means the oceans are heating up more and more, which means a significant hurricane could eat up those waters and form and impact the United States. Hope this is not the case, but definitely watch out there. We already know about Gilma. It's going to be impacting Hawaii as soon as Friday morning. And we also have this 90% chance, which this could actually be Hector, as it's not 140 degrees west of Mexico just yet, but I will be keeping an eye on this in the future. And of course, we already know about Hone impacting Hawaii, which y'all should already be hunkered down and already prepared for this major hurricane. Now, of course, we got to take a look at the ocean temperatures, as I did say that the more the days go by, the more the ocean temperatures are going to heat up. We can see the Gulf is pretty boiling out there, about 30 degrees Celsius to be exact. And we can see out here in the main development region, that's pretty hot out there as well. And as we take a look at the GFS model, now this will take us out for the next couple of weeks. We can see there's not really much forming out there, but we do have this little short wave coming off the coast of Africa. And it definitely could form into a tropical storm or hurricane as we head into the beginning parts of September. As we take a look at the global tropics hazard outlook, we can see out here in the main development region, they've given us a pretty significant chance of tropical storm or hurricane development as we head into the beginning parts of September. So definitely something to watch. The Atlantic is eerily quiet for this time of year. And as y'all know, hurricane season lasts from the beginning of June to the end of November. So hurricane season ain't over yet, unfortunately, y'all. So watch out if you live amongst the coastal states. And of course, other than hurricanes, we do have an uptick in some severe weather going on, as there is a slight risk over by Utah, Colorado, parts of Wyoming, and parts of Arizona and New Mexico, as well as from far northern Nebraska up into Minnesota, and parts of Canada is also under this as well. All hazards are going to be possible with a low-wind threat for tornadoes. Keep in mind, if you're in the low-wind threat, significant tornadoes can happen on low-wind days. Keep this in mind. As far as the imaging wind threat goes, pretty significant threat within both zones. See large health threat goes. See both zones are under the gun for that as well. Now, tomorrow is going to be a little bit more significant than today, as there is an enhanced risk issued from the Dakotas up into Minnesota. There's also a slight risk which surrounds that as well, and this also includes parts of Massachusetts and Rhode Island and parts of Delaware as well. Now, the reasons why we're saying tomorrow is going to be an even more significant severe weather day than today is because the tornado threat is a lot higher, as there's a 5% chance over here in southeastern South Dakota and southwestern Minnesota, with a small chance for that, shining light here in the green. Now, keep in mind, significant tornadoes can happen on low end days, so make sure you have a way to see your alerts and you know where to go when that tornado warning gets issued for your location. And the other threats also include a pretty significant chance for high winds, as there is a 30% hatched area for that here in Minnesota and South Dakota. And there's also a 30% hatched area for large hail as well. So make sure you put up anything you don't want damaged from large hail. And make sure you put up anything you don't want blowing around from high winds. And be aware that power outages could occur as well tomorrow. As we move off into Tuesday, we can see that there's a slight risk from Wisconsin over into far western New York. Now, keep in mind, we do not know what the main threats will be, but go follow my X and Facebook pages, as I do daily weather forecasts on there, and I will provide updates when the Storm Prediction Center issues those threats. Now, once we get past Tuesday, it's really not much in the way of any severe weather going on. Of course, that's subject to change, but for now, there's nothing within the next 4 to 8 days after we get past Tuesday. Now, as far as flooding goes, nothing off the charts for the next 3 days, just marginal risks, but expect right around 1 to 2 inches of heavy rainfall if you live within any of these zones. So be aware of flooded roadways, turn on, don't drown. Live in a low-lying area, please be aware of this. So now that we know what the threats will be, let's go ahead and get into the timing and take a look at this. We're going to take a look at the HRRR model. Keep in mind that date time's up if you ever want to keep track, and we're going to lower this down to the 12Z run to take a look at the next couple of days, and then we'll take a look at the lightning flash density right here on the Euro. Keep in mind today that there's going to be a low-end threat for tornadoes, with the main threats within both zones being high winds and large hail. As we push this forward, I would expect some showers and thunderstorms to occur over by Utah and Colorado, with some high wind gusts possible, right around 20 to 30 mile an hour wind gusts possible over there during the early morning into early afternoon hours. As we take a look over here from the Dakotas into Minnesota, I would expect the worst severe weather to occur from right around 6 o'clock Central to right around 11 o'clock Central, before it mainly turns into a big old flash flooding event. Keep in mind, with any storm that rolls through tonight, a spin-up tornado could be possible, as there is a low-end threat for that. And keep in mind, significant tornadoes can happen on low-end days. Now, as we move off into the more significant day here on Monday, got our enhanced risk over here by the Dakotas and Minnesota, and we also have our slight risk over here in Massachusetts, Connecticut, and Rhode Island. And once we get into good old Manic Monday, heading back to work and school, see, not much is going on through the early morning hours. Could be dealing with some sunny skies, which is not something you want to see on a severe weather day. Some early morning afternoon convection could spawn some severe weather to occur from right around 5 o'clock Central through the midnight hour. Could bring some significant hail and some high winds, with winds gusting to upwards of right around 50 to 60 to upwards of 70 mile an hour wind gusts could be possible tomorrow. So make sure, again, to put up anything you don't want blowing around, and be aware that power outages could occur as well. And as we take a look at the significant tornadic parameters, to take a look at where the most favorable ingredients for tornadic activity could be at, we can see that right around 4 o'clock, just west of Minneapolis, right around a 0.9 out of 10. Of course, as we move further into the nighttime hours on Monday, see the tornadic parameters going to start to ramp up down here just south of Minneapolis. So definitely, again, make sure you are hyper weather aware tomorrow, as it's going to be a more significant day than the day. Storm chaser Vince Welty and Brandon Kopic are going to be out there chasing this event tomorrow, so go follow those guys. And send me any pictures if you want to on X and Facebook. I would greatly appreciate any photos y'all send of any storms, as it's looking like we could be dealing with a pretty significant day tomorrow. As it's looking like severe weather is going to be getting started by right around 4 o'clock Central to right around the midnight hour, as it's looking like some significant hail and upwards of 70 mile an hour wind gusts could be possible from South Dakota up into Minnesota. Now, as we head into Tuesday, got our slight risk from Wisconsin over into New York. Take a look at this. We're going to have to look at the lightning flash density right here on the Euro. Now, this won't show the exact timing or what kind of hazard y'all could expect, but it'll show us a rough estimate of when y'all could expect the worst severe weather on Tuesday. So looking like we could have round 1 here during the early morning hours, and that's going to clear out, destabilize the atmosphere just like on Monday. And then it's looking like round 2 is going to be occurring during the late evening into overnight hours. So definitely go follow my X and Facebook pages. I will keep y'all updated when the Storm Prediction Center issues those risks. Now let's go ahead and take a look at the GFS for what we could expect for the next couple of weeks. Now we already know the severe weather threats for the next few days. It's looking like once we get past Tuesday, it's looking like we could come in on a very stormy and soggy weather pattern. As you see, we could be dealing with some severe weather over here, western Pennsylvania into Massachusetts and Connecticut in that area. And as we head into Labor Day weekend, it's looking like we could come in on a very soggy weather pattern, so plan accordingly if you live from New Mexico up into New York. It's looking like we'll be dealing with a very soggy Labor Day weekend, but if you live from Colorado up into the Northwest, it's looking like a pretty good Labor Day weekend. And it's looking to remain soggy amongst the central and eastern part of the country as we head into the beginning parts of September, while the Northwest is still going to remain pretty dry. Now, as we take a look at the 6 to 10 day precipitation outlook by the Climate Prediction Center, they're showing us that much of the country is going to be well above average, which is good for those drought conditions. But if you live up here in the North Central and Southwest, it's looking like you could be dealing with some below average precipitation. Of course, Alaska and Hawaii dealing with above average precipitation, except for in this part of Alaska right here where some below average precipitation is going to be expected. Next 8 to 14 days, really about the same story, so definitely some good news as far as the drought relief goes. Now, before we take a look at the temperatures, let's go and take a look at the troughs and ridges here on the 500 millibar height anomaly map. Now, I know in the last video I did say that we're going to be coming into a little bit of a cool off before a summertime weather pattern comes back, and then we're going to be coming into more of a fall-like weather pattern. Now, let's see if that holds true. We can see out west we got that little trough going on, dropping those temperatures down drastically, and we see there's a major ridge out east bringing some summertime temperatures back. And it's looking like as we head into Labor Day weekend, we could be cooling off a little bit as a trough is going to be making its way east. Still dealing with a little bit of a ridge though, so could be dealing with some summertime heat still. And this could result in some more severe weather. And then it's looking like as we head into the meat and potatoes of September, it's looking like a ridge is just going to take hold for quite some time actually. Take a look at the actual temperatures, we can see the western part of the country is going to be pretty chilly, while the rest of the country is going to be dealing with a major heat wave. Summer's not over yet, unfortunately, y'all. Although the pumpkin spice drinks are back, we can see that still going to be pretty hot as we head into Labor Day weekend. Here on Friday, we can see that it's going to be pretty hot. Cooling down a little bit, though. We head into Sunday. See that it's going to be cooling down out there, y'all. Unseasonably cool temperatures are going to be in store on Monday morning, Labor Day, but still remaining pretty hot for this time of year. And of course, it's obviously summer, so definitely prepare for the heat, as it's looking like the next couple weeks is still going to remain pretty hot, although a cool down could be expected as we head into Labor Day weekend. Take a look at the temperature outlook by the Climate Prediction Center. It's showing us that some below average temperatures are going to be expected as we head into the end of the month, except for from Washington down into Florida up in the Northeast. Next 8 to 14 days, cooling down drastically, as they're showing us the next 8 to 14 days heading to September. Some below average temperatures is expected as far south as Arkansas and Oklahoma. So definitely, like I said earlier, could be heating up in the short term, but in the long term, it's going to be cooling down drastically as unseasonably cool air is going to be making a return. So definitely enjoy that if you live amongst the central and eastern part of the country. So I hope you all enjoyed today's weather forecast. If you did, make sure you hit that like and share button so more folks are informed about the weather. If you have any feedback for me, leave it in the comment section down below, as feedback helps spread you the viewer better and more informative content in the future. Also, don't forget to hit that subscribe button with bell notifications turned on so you never miss an upload, because at Here on Williams Weather, we try to make weather forecasting fun and informative. So to sum this video up, basically watch out for Hone if you live out there by Hawaii, and also watch out for Gilma, as it's going to be impacting y'all by Friday. As far as Labor Day weekend plans go, it's looking to be pretty soggy amongst the eastern part of the country and sort of dry up in the northwest. Looking like we could be coming in on a major cool down as well as we head into the beginning parts of September. So again, like, comment, subscribe. Appreciate all y'all for watching. Till next time, never stop forecasting.